All right, we're back with the Virtual Entrepreneurship Summit. Again, collaborative project between Alabama A&M University, Auburn University, and Tuskegee University. We're here having a very dynamic conversation with Mariah Tomlin of the Center for Governmental Services at Auburn University. Mariah, I kind of want to segue into a conversation now, because there seems to be, I don't want to say some tension between, whether it's workforce development or talent development. So in your opinion, what is it? And how do we set up winning scenarios for entrepreneurs and small business owners, with both as operational understandings, as they make their business successful and as they get ready to launch businesses? I just said.
Well, there's several different responses and approaches to that.
Mm-hmm.
I think the nomenclature we choose is sometimes unfortunate,
Mm-hmm.
and I think that the term talent is maybe one of those words, because I believe everybody has talent.
Mm-hmm.
I think that it matters more not whether they have talent, but whether they have a skill set that either they have innately, they have credentialed for, or they have that aptitude that can be developed.
Okay.
And I think there's some people like myself, I don't have any real math skills, and I'm kind of scared of real statistics. A lot of people are like that, but I can do Excel spreadsheets and I can plug in various calculations and can compensate, because I've learned, and it's a practical application that I've done repeatedly by doing. But I also have a certain aptitude for working with computers, and I'm pretty good at it. It's a difference, however, if you had higher level math, or I was expected to do really detailed accounting. I'm not going to be able to do that, and there's very little teaching or learning that I could do. I just don't have that aptitude. But there are other areas that I can develop and that I can do credibly well in. However, you're going to have companies that don't have the money or the time or the ability to train somebody to be a CPA. The companies that you're talking about, the startups, really need to be careful and know what their needs are. And their needs need to be based on the objectives, and it's very important not to hire people unless you either have a budget to do some training or credentialing of those individuals, depending on if you're having a masonry company, do you need somebody that's already a journeyman? Or can you train somebody, or do you have somebody who's part-time, or do you have to go to the community college and get their instructor and then have the students come and do some of that? It just depends on what you're doing and the extent to which you're doing, and then the industry and what the industry standards are. So I think you just make those adjustments based on what your priorities are, what your business is all about. And if you don't know and don't clearly have those objectives and what the identification is of those skill sets, then I think you have to make some choices. What we see are some of the systems where you hire friends, you hire relatives, or you hire somebody who is, makes a good presentation, but when it comes to actually doing the work, they may not have those skills. So you need to know whether you're hiring a leader, or I refer to myself as a worker bee. What level do you want? And that comes back to what I was saying earlier about your job descriptions.
Mhm.
So you've got to have certain foundations and know what you're looking for and what your finance, your pocket will tolerate in terms of training or development, or do you need somebody who's going to hit the ground running and has it all built?
You know, what you just shared with us is that human resources can't be considered just a spike line item.
Oh, no.
You know, it has to be looked upon as being a major investment, and it also has to be a continuous,
That's
you know,
right.
conscious decision that you have to deal with as a entrepreneur and small business owner. As we all would like to see little us running around in organizations. So your ideal entrepreneurial setup for an organization, you know, a small business, what would you want to see from a human resources standpoint,
Wow.
based on the morale model? When it's all said and done, you could just, you could just walk away on, from in the sunset and say, "Job well done." What would that be?
Keenan. First of all, I don't want a bunch of little Mariahs running around. I don't. And I don't want a bunch of little Keenans running around.
That would be a little scary, wouldn't it?
It would.
Yeah.
But what I think is you need diversity in a workforce. If
Okay.
you just got two people, it's a different thing than
Mhm.
if you have 5 or 6 and you can really diversify. If everybody's thinking and acting and doing the same thing, you're
Mhm.
not going to have as high a quality
Mhm.
a product as if you can all come together
Mhm.
to increase the perspective and increase that quality.
Mhm.
So within the context, and here I come back to that word, as I said, I really like it.
Okay.
Within the context of what you're trying to accomplish,
Mhm.
you know, I think you need to have a variety of skill sets
Okay.
and a variety of credentialing and a variety of perspectives. But everybody has to buy into the goal or the mission or the purpose. And you're going to get the better successes if you've got everybody on the same page, not necessarily on the same page of how to get there. Everybody's going to have a different role. Everybody's going to have a different gift, so to speak. But it's those diverse gifts that will get you the furthest along in accomplishing the goals if you know what those goals are.
You're just like a technology firm in Silicon Valley. You've laid out so many things that there could be so many spin-offs that I couldn't capture them all if I tried to.
Now, Keenan Grinnell.
Thank you so much for this. We really appreciate it.
Okay,
All
thank you.
right. And
Thanks.
that's it.